It looks like the real thing the warden is hiding is his karaoke. But Minecraft Dungeons 2 was just announced, and they decided to use the Ancient City portal to promote it. And indeed, they even had a secret QR code that pointed to the warden. Or is that what this is? Actually, it appears that it's a new mob that Minecraft have referenced that doesn't exist in any of the current 3 dimensions. And so, what's inside the portal? Are there any clues, and how do you open it? This video won't include any made-up YouTuber lore or fake leaks, although I have published an add-on with my theory called Boss Blitz. Let's start with the basics, because when the Caves and Cliffs update came out, Minecraft's entire world got lower, and in this new Deep Slate realm, you can find a brand new biome called the Deep Dark. The Deep Dark only has one structure called the Ancient City, and every single time that Ancient City spawns, it will have this structure inside of it. This is called in the game files a portal, and it's made up of an unbreakable block with no other use, just like end portal frames were before the end came to the game. And indeed, when it was being created, the major figure behind the Deep Dark in Ancient City, King B Dogs, says, "Is this too scary for Minecraft?" and all sorts of other mysterious things like that. Indeed, Mojang as a whole do keep referencing it as a portal, first in this official 2024 book, but then also in Dungeons 2, both with the leaks and now the official trailer, which tells us they are definitely thinking of it as a portal, and likely therefore thinking of it as being a gateway to a new dimension. So then the only question becomes, what happens when you go through? Well, there happens to be one in my living room, but you'd be insane to go through that, right? Although, I guess we know it can't take you to hell, since there's already a portal for that, so sure, why not? Whoa! Oh no. I've managed to end up at the only place in the world worse than hell. I'm in Milton Keynes. I hope that that certainly never comes true, but something we do know is that Minecraft will be revealing the Ancient City portal this year. That's because Dungeons 2 is heavily featuring it in its marketing, as well as its leaks, and that has a release date of 2026, and so with regards to how that affects the base game, there are 3 possibilities. The first of these is that Mojang is going to add it to Dungeons 2, but will add an entirely different portal meaning to the base game. The second is that they are working on a 4th dimension, or an Ancient City portal meaning, but they will only ever use it for Dungeons 2 and other spin-off titles only. The third, though, is that they are working on this Ancient City portal meaning, and it will be coming to both Dungeons 2 and to Minecraft 2. This gives us 3 different portals to go into, but ultimately I think the first one we can rule out immediately because it's unprecedented, whereas the second one is actually with a lot of heavy precedent. Take for example the Wildfire. This was a powerful mob found in the Flames of Nether DLC for Minecraft Dungeons, and it was of course the mob vote mob from 2016 that was meant to come to the base game, although of course was voted against, and so intriguingly this is a Minecraft mob that was featured in Dungeons and never came to the base game. There are many such examples of this in Dungeons and Legends, but there are also examples of our third portal here, because interestingly Minecraft added the spear and the mace and many variants of both of those weapons to Minecraft Dungeons long before they ever came to recent updates to Minecraft. So is it possible that they give us the Ancient City portal meaning in Dungeons 2 first, and then later it comes to the base game? Or is it indeed possible that this year, given we know that the next update is Chaos Cubed, that one of the next 2 drops of this year also includes an entire Ancient City portal meaning? Well, it's possible, but I think what is more interesting, and the perhaps bigger question, is what will be revealed, because the matter of when is something that doesn't ever matter after it's here. So what will be revealed inside of the Ancient City portal? Well, here's where things get interesting, because hello, I'm AbX Toy Cat, and I guess we forgot to do an intro until now, and I'd like to just quickly mention that it's important that we go through the actual evidence first, because if you jump to a conclusion before looking at evidence, you're just making stuff up, and I prefer to actually look at the structure as it exists. So here's the important thing to know about the Ancient City. This is the one part of the structure, that is to say the portal, the redstone room below it, and this little wall that goes around it that always exists, and then the Ancient City comes off it in 4 separate directions. And now here's where I think things get interesting, because looking around an Ancient City, you'll see that the entire place is themed around sound. This is obviously because you're meant to be avoiding the warden, who of course can only hear, he can't see, look, his eyes have gone missing. But what I think is interesting is this sound theme is deeper than just the blocks and the design of the place. It also permeates into the loot. Look in this chest right here and you'll see, actually, wow, 2 music discs, music disc cat, as well as music disc 13. Oh, that's an interesting one with numbers on there. But then also if we look around, you'll see some glowberries, and actually you won't see any other music discs. Famously though, this place is famous for having 2 unique pieces of loot. One of those is these echo shards, and the other is music disc 5, although it comes in fragments you have to put together. So there is a music disc that for some reason is the only shattered music disc in Minecraft. You have to collect its various fragments. That seems very suspicious if it's just designed to be something you listen to, because, fun fact, if we do put together music disc 5 and throw it into a jukebox, it's not exactly a good sound. It's not exactly one you have to go through a lot of work to get, but in case you want to hear it anyway, here it is. And then all of a sudden, it becomes actually a pretty decent one. But still, all of those sounds, again, distinctly weird Minecraft sounds that already exist, followed by something that doesn't yet exist. I find this to be hugely interesting. Again, combined with the Warden, a hearing-only mob, combined with the hearing-based redstone, combined with a rare item, notably, again, is rare, has this yellow tag, called the Echo Shard, it really feels like everything in this dimension hints towards sounds, both those that already exist and those that do not. And so I feel like the easy thing we can take from this, because there are lots of other pieces of evidence, I should point out, if we are being fair, there's this part of the structure that looks like a pillager outpost, there's this part that looks like it's a Mesa Badlands, I don't know why it exists or what it's doing there, and you'll also find all over the place all sorts of other odd structures, like this looks like a melted zombie with the trousers and the top and everything, but I think that although there are lots of other weird things that hint to other parts of the game, basically, the major parts of it, in my opinion, seem to directly hint towards sound in some way. And so, instead of a portal based on the sights, like how the Aether was and the End is, or like how the Nether is there a dimension based on sound? Well, that doesn't make any sense, does it? So here's where I think that things get interesting with the Ancient City portal, because I've been deliberately trying not to say 4th dimension in this video, despite the fact that that is the most popular thing that people want from a gameplay perspective. Yes, we all secretly would love if we could go through this portal and it would take you through to somewhere else, but this isn't my theory about what happens. Just like how when you come to the Ancient City, you don't have wardens until they spawn in, coming from some other land, maybe if you are able to light the Ancient City portal, or if the Ancient City portal is able to be lit in some other way itself, then maybe instead of you going through to it, instead something comes from it through to you. This is something that makes a world of sense when you consider Minecraft's current update philosophy, which is mostly to have smaller drops rather than major updates. They haven't ruled out major updates happening in the future, although exactly what those major updates are is something that is very vaguely defined. But if we are to get major defining content updates, then it's very unlikely that one of them will be the size of an entire dimension, especially when we have so many comments from Mojang staff talking about how the current dimensions actually could do with an update first, and we've only seen a Nether update in the last decade, and so that means I think when we take all of that and combine it with the official depictions of the Ancient City, of which there are only 2 with it actually having a portal lit, the first of these is the Dungeons 2 trailer, where you can see that seemingly these note blocks have something to do with it. Weirdly, they've got a bunch of rainbow blocks on them, and that's something to do with how the portal works, but also you're seeing the Ancient City portal from afar, which is also exactly how you see it in the Minecraft Ancient City portal book. There are the 3 characters from this book book sitting far away from the portal. By the way, I did decide to read the summary of this book, and my god, do not recommend that. It is, anyway, the point here is that it actually is a book about how they go into the ancient city, and what do they find when they get there? A warden, and the warden actually scares them away. But notably, in this book that seemingly focuses deeply on the ancient city and has the ancient city portal as its cover art, they still don't go inside of it because the warden scares them away. That is a weird thing to say for a whole new dimension, and so indeed, what if these portal blocks that exist, by the way, if you've never seen someone who's destroyed these blocks in their world, it's very unlikely you have, because Minecraft really don't want you destroying reinforced deep slate. If you have an efficiency 5 silk or just netherite pickaxe, even with a beacon, you're talking about multiple minutes to destroy these blocks, something that makes it so painstaking to do that most people are going to leave them intact, perfect for whatever they have planned. Obviously, I'm not one of these people. I destroyed every other block, and it was actually over an hour worth of mining on a live stream. Why did I do that? Because I'm kind of curious. This is one of those circumstances I'm sure Mojang didn't see coming, but is it just that whatever portal event, comes out of this, I can't do? Or have I forever boned a part of my Minecraft ancient city? Well, it's impossible to find out until after such an update comes out, but if we are expecting to see an answer that comes alongside Minecraft Dungeons, that means that we have now just over 6 months, and in terms of development time that isn't working on the Chaos Cubed update, we have exactly 6 months for Mojang to bring into effect whatever Ancient City Portal thing will tie in Dungeons 2 to the base game, and if you think an entire dimension will be developed in that time, I just think that that's a little bit unlikely, and so is it that something comes out of the portal towards you, or is it something else entirely? Well, that's the question I have to leave with you. What I will say is that Minecraft have clearly been working on hints for some future dimension for as long as there have been free in the game. This is something that you can see not just in the last couple of weeks with the hints that they are adding custom dimension code so that add-on creators can now play around with it. It's not just in the days after 1.19, it's actually in the time before that. The concept art of the ancient city is always hinting at something that is deeper and darker, and so all of this is true, but what I will say is while that can be true, there could still be zero major plans to actually add this to vanilla. I think that the important cynicism is something you should be applying as a philosophy for a lot of your day-to-day life, because if you don't keep your expectations tiny, you'll probably end up being whiny, and so I would say that Mojang are deliberately using the mystery of this to market Dungeons 2, and would that be smart if it wasn't coming to Minecraft 2? Well, that is the question, and I would say that there is definitely some future plans that involve this structure and the main game, but there is a chance that they're very much future, bold word, and plans, small word, and not future, small word, and plans, big words. But I really hope that I'm wrong about that, but what do you think? Let me know. This video has been as factual as humanly possible, and I hope you appreciate that. If you'd like to learn the latest and greatest about Minecraft, you can subscribe to see more, and if you want to see an Ancient City Portal and what I think could come out of that, it's available in Boss Blitz, and interestingly, we can't say right now, but there were some issues with getting that into there, which might say something else, is I think all I can legally say. Thank you for watching, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay.